Well, the weekend has come and gone. Did a lot of stuff, but not much bike related things. I did get the paint done on both the front and rear wheels. You can see this is much nicer than what it was looking like before. Put the right size tire on, it's filled up with air, and I'm attempting to balance it, but I want to get everything on the wheel before I start balancing it. One problem, the rear shoe is not fitting, doesn't go in. There's a reason for this. And the reason is, hopefully you can see in there, is all that rust still there on the braking surface, what the shoes contact. Now you can start to see that there is some silver, you know, some shiny metal starting to come through, and we want to see that the whole way around the inside of this hub. And the only way to really do that is with sandpaper and elbow grease. This is 32 grit because I really don't want to waste any time. I was using 80 for a little bit and I figured, you know what, I got 32, I might as well use it. So once all that crap gets out of the inside of the hub, those shoes will fit. So if you ever run into that situation, that's the reason why. So I'm going to keep doing that. Going to keep, you know, sanding away. I put a little PB blaster on here to kind of like almost make it as a wet sand, and it helps break up all the corrosion that's on there too. And obviously when this fits, I'm going to spray all this down with brake cleaner to get all the PB blaster and degreaser off of there, so that I will actually have a rear brake and it won't just be hitting a degreaser or a PB blaster and, you know, just not gripping like it should. But I'm going to keep doing that, but I just want to show you, man, look at how nice those wheels look. Oh my God. Front tire mounted on front hub. Front wheel, I mean. Painted, looks damn good. Does not look good in this light, but it will look good outside. So I'm just reattaching the front rotor. Where's my bolt? There it is. You know, use some Loctite. This is actually blue Loctite, but it's in a red red can, I guess. I don't know why. That's how I picked it up. It's blue Loctite in red. Beats me. I don't know why. But we're gonna spin these dudes down to 25 foot-pounds. Tighten them up and then balance this this wheel. Let's get this wheel balanced. This is the heaviest part of the wheel. This is where it's, you know, ended up. So I'm gonna put some weights on the opposite side, give it a spin, and see if it changes anything. There we go. And just put it to 90. See if it's still, yeah, it does still want to fall down there. Okay. Need some more wheel weights. There's 2 there, let's try 2 over here. Let's see what that gets us. Better. That might be good. It's pulling down a little bit. There needs to be, I guess, I would think maybe one more here. Alright, I got some new brake shoes. The ones I was using before were from a KZ400, so I think they were a little bit too big, being that this is a 440 wheel. So let's install these and see if, you know, it works a little bit better. If anyone's never installed rear or brake shoes before, it's pretty self-explanatory. On a, or maybe it's not, on a brake drum, on a, I guess you'd call this a, I don't know what you would call this, but like let's say the brake drum pivot, right? There's two posts that come out here, one that's round and one that's notched. See, on your brake shoes you have round and flat. Flat goes with the notched, like that, and then the rounded fits over the smooth bore right there. So that's how you get your orientation. So let's put it together. And I really hope that this works. And also you have these little springs. Put one spring on one side. Come on, buddy. There. And make sure it corresponds round with round, flat with flat with the other side. And get them to connect. And do the other side. So now you got this. It's kind of like a bear trap, which is exactly what you're gonna. It's pretty much like setting a bear trap. Not like I have any experience doing that, but get your stuff lined up. Just do it like that. Put the round over the round, like that. Come on, buddy. Do I have this right? No, I don't have this right. Won't. It's this way. Round over round. And basically, you just get it kind of lined up in its little slots, and you pull it down like a bear trap. It should snap right into place. Wait, is this right? This isn't right. What the hell am I doing? It's opposite. It goes this way. Oh, Lord. Round with round. Ah, this spring came off. Ugh. There we go. Once you get it lined up, there, it should pop into place, and it should hold itself. That's a drum brake. So I cleaned up all the inside of this braking surface. I used a, what do you call it on it, a wire brush to get all the crud out of there and make it as smooth as possible, because it was all rusty and disgusto. So let's just get all the residue off of here and see if this fits. Moment of truth. Here we go. And it doesn't fit. Okay. Really? It's just too big? Man, I don't get it. We did it! So you have to excuse I got my respirator on because, you know, there's still brake dust floating around in the air, and that's probably not good to breathe. So, I got it right. I had to use my angle grinder with a flap wheel to get enough of the surface off of here so that it fits.
it is uneven, right? It's pretty much impossible to do this in a way that makes the surface completely even, but that's okay, because after using this for a few days or a week, eventually the surface will get, you know, flattened out. And it'll just even itself out. You know, that's just from being used. So, to test, plop it in there. Boom. Fits. Rotates around. There's a little bit of drag. That's alright. Put the brake arm on. Pull it. Activate it. Push in. And try and turn it. It don't turn. Let it off. Rotates, put a little pressure on there, won't turn. So that's a friggin' assembled brake, man. Wish it didn't take so much time, but it's done.
Alright, let's continue with the rear wheel assembly. Flipped it around, put the rubber dampeners back in. This goes on the sprocket side of the rear wheel. Let's get this bearing back in there. All greased up and delicious. Feels like this. There. That's the top part. I believe like that. Yeah. I'll check the parts fiche on that one, but I think that's how it goes. And then I got these two guys. So it might actually go like that, and then like that. Yeah, I remember that's how it goes. That little guy just kind of spins around in there. And then this, it's on top of here. Should pop right in. Yep, there we go. So that's the sprocket on there. The dampener, like once it's all tightened on, it'll hold itself in place. And just doing a quick inspection here. Teeth look good. The one thing you want to look for with teeth, let me show you, is you want to make sure that none of these guys are like pointed a certain direction, right? Because what that means is that chain tension over months or years was way too tight and it actually pulled the sprockets one way. So you want to make sure that they're all pointing straight up. And also you want to make sure that the sprockets don't look like, you know, at the ends they're like super duper sharp. You know, like someone took a file to it and made these super sharp. They want to have a little bit of a head on it. So this is a good sprocket, but those two things are definitely two things you want to make sure that your sprocket does not have when you put it back on. You know, so this sprocket's in good shape. Fits well. That's all it really takes to hold it on there. I think there's another spacer. Yeah, there's another spacer on the drum side that fits over the top of here, but that's on the rear axle itself, so I'll get to that later. So I think now it's finally time to put this rear wheel on the bike, put the swing arm on, and start reassembling this thing. I'll give this thing a quick balance too. I need to find out where all my wheel weights are, because I don't know where I put them. I'll figure it out. Rear wheel's still giving me issues. I can't get it balanced. Now I could if I had, like, essentially what's going on here is it's like I would need to have about 6 ounces on the tire just to balance it. Now that is a ton, okay? To put it in perspective, the little itty bitty wheel weights that look like that, that's a half of a gram, which is about one, I think is 1, 2, or some. It's not a lot, but like usually 3 of these is all you need to balance a tire. So I'm looking at 6 ounces. So what that tells me is not that I need to go get 6 1-ounce weights, is probably that I need to rotate the tire on the rim and rotate it basically 180 degrees. So because whatever's down here, the heaviest part of the rim right now is right here at the bottom. So I'm going to make a mark on the heaviest part, which would be right here. Yeah, that's legible. And I'm going to basically rotate, I'm going to get all the air out of the tire. And I'm going to rotate it, break the bead, and rotate it 180 degrees. So basically just get all the air out of this. So I'm going to start doing that. Get all the air out of it and rotate the tire. Keep the rim in the same place, but rotate the tire 180 degrees. And that should hopefully balance it a little bit to the point where I can use like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of these little wheel weights, you know, which is normal. I shouldn't have to use that much weight to balance a motorcycle tire. At least get me in the ballpark. So this rear wheel is not making it very easy for me, man. Oh well, more time, right? Pretty well balanced now. Broke the bead, rotated the tire. It's balanced, but you know, I had to use a few of these half, they're not ounce, half gram guys to get it done. So it doesn't look amazing on there, but can't really notice it, but it's balanced. And that's really all that matters here. Yeah, this was just a pain, and this was just a pain to do. I mean, it's good now. I wish I could have got it done with maybe some ounce ones, so there would be less like weights on the wheel. Like the weight poundage is the same, but it would be less weights there, so it wouldn't look as weird. But you know what, man, it works. Wheels balanced. I'm happy with that. I don't really care about much else. I just wish it could have been a little bit cleaner and less of a pain in the ass.